Like aggressive Xbox Live gamers, annual franchise releases, and lootbox obsessed executives, cancelled games are an unfortunate reality of this fair industry of ours. Sometimes, a developer can fall at the final hurdle. Often, factors outside of their control will destroy a project, regardless of whether it's in its early stages or a stone's throw from release. Whatever the reason, it always hurts when a truly promising game is thrown in the bin before we've had the chance to play it. We're going to look at some examples right now, if you can believe we'd do such a thing. Before we dive into our top 5 cancelled games we wish we played, allow me to make a small request of you. You know how YouTube has this feature that lets you subscribe to channels? Yeah? You've seen it around. Well, why not subscribe to UNILAD Gaming for more inane chit-chat like this, and hit the bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new video. It'll save us from getting the work experience kid to drive around in an open-top car to shout into a megaphone whenever we upload. Number 5. Silent Hills. The troubled tale of Silent Hills is one of betrayal, shock, scandal, and Konami being, I believe the technical term is, poopy heads. As I'm sure you've heard, it was to be a complete reboot of the popular horror franchise from Metal Gear creator Hideo Kojima and director Guillermo del Toro. What makes this entry significantly more frustrating is that we had a taste of just how good this game could have been thanks to the chilling and revolutionary PT demo that was released on the PlayStation Store. PT, or Playable Teaser, was a butt-clenchingly tense first-person trip through a haunted house that single-handedly influenced a new wave of psychological horror games. The fact we never got a full game in this outstanding style is honestly criminal, but the fallout between Kojima and Konami was the one and only nail in Silent Hill's coffin. Konami never did try to revive the game, but that might be for the best without Kojima on board. Number 4. Star Wars Battlefront 3. Few things in gaming sting more than the loss of Star Wars Battlefront 3. Sure, we got a new Battlefront game from DICE in 2015 and it was okay, but it was a reboot, not the sequel everybody wanted. And the less said about the 2017 Battlefront 2, the better. Development duties were in the hands of Free Radical Design, with its co-founder Steve Ellis claiming that Battlefront 3 was pretty much done in 2008. He alleged that the game was scrapped because LucasArts couldn't commit to properly marketing it. However, employees from LucasArts who were involved with the project suggested that the problem was with Free Radical. Apparently they regularly missed deadlines and couldn't devote the resources that such a project needed. Footage of the game surfaces online at various points, and while we'll probably never fully understand what went down, we can still look at Battlefront 3 and wonder, what if? Number 3. Aliens Crucible. A third-person action RPG set in Ridley Scott's Alien universe? If you think that sounds awesome, you would be entirely correct. Oh, and it was being developed by Obsidian, the team behind Fallout New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity, and South Park: The Stick of Truth. So what the hell happened here? Some of the team at Obsidian reckon the game was pretty much ready for release, while others were less certain. At any rate, Crucible was canned in 2009, and publisher Sega revealed it wanted to carefully consider the type of Aliens game to release. Do you know what we got instead? Do you? I'll tell you what. Aliens Bloody Colonial Bloody Marines. That's what we got. A week-old yogurt stain of a game if there ever was one. Number 2. Time Crisis Adventure. The Time Crisis games are absolutely wonderful, finely tuned shoot-em-ups and a perfect example of how to create a heavenly arcade game. God, what I wouldn't give for a new entry in the franchise. As it turns out, Bandai Namco had plans to bring a new Time Crisis into the world back in 2003, although it was slated to be more of an adventure game than a linear arcade shooter. Developer Darkworks was hired to create the fittingly titled Time Crisis Adventure, but it seems nobody could quite figure out how to make it work, and Namco dropped the project a little over a year later. The studio would later rework what it had into a survival horror game called Cold Fear, which was released for the PS2 and Xbox in 2005. All Time Crisis references were removed, so we'll never know just how close the two titles were. Number 1. Agent. Rockstar Games is a master of its craft, creating some of the most immersive experiences in gaming. Red Dead Redemption 2 absolutely nails the Wild West, LA Noire is the closest I'll ever come to being a hotshot detective, and GTA 5, well, GTA 5 lets me drive a tow truck. That's pretty neat. All of that makes it a real shame that Agent seemed to completely disappear one day. Announced as a PS3 exclusive way back in 2007, then formally announced on stage during E3 in 2009, The game was to put players in the shoes of a secret agent during the Cold War, as players explored a world of counterintelligence, espionage and political assassinations. That's according to Agent's page on the Rockstar website, which is still there for some reason. See, Agent was never actually formally cancelled. It just kind of went away, and nobody seems entirely sure why. A Rockstar artist who had been moved from Agent to work on GTA 5 said back in 2015 that he was unsure if the game would ever see the light of day, and Sony has no idea what's going on with it either, so that's probably that. The fact that a game about being a secret agent disappeared in such mysterious circumstances is actually pretty cool, but I'm also deeply bummed out, with it sounding like a great premise for a Rockstar title and all. What cancelled games did you always want to play? Let us know in the comments and be sure to stick with UNILAD Gaming on Facebook for more gaming goodness.